KILR Killer Game.
Hello gamers, simmers, and pilots, I'm the Killer Gamer, and welcome to the World Tour, Semi-World Tour, featuring Microsoft Flight Simulator 3, and we've got a special flight today, and I'm saying that it's special, like I'm a villain or something. I'm saying that it's special because we are curving off and going in a different direction than what the later flight simulators have done. And there's a reason for that. And we'll get into that right now. Okay, so we're looking at the Chicago area chart. Now this is from Scenery Disc number 9, which you should know if you've been following this series. We are here at La Crosse. Now the other simulators, they have continued going north. Going into Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and they're going to be going into Canada. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a map here. Okay, so here is a satellite view of Google Maps. So it went from La Crosse and it went to Red Wing, Minneapolis, and over to Litchfield to go see the big ball of twine, over here to Eau Claire, went up to Duluth, went over here to Grand Rapids. As far as Minnesota is concerned, came back this direction, landed at Bong, because that's just an interesting name. And then it continued its way around, hit Land O'Lakes, went up here to Houghton, and that's where it stopped before we went on hiatus. They're going to continue going into Canada. They're going to be going into Thunder Bay and working their way up through Ontario, and then working through parts of Manitoba up into the country of Nunavut, or territory. I think that's a country. And up around the northwestern passages, all the way up here, where Alert is at. Where's Alert? There it is, right here in this corner. Alert. That's supposed to be like the furthest north. Clouds. I think that's supposed to be the most northern point of the Earth, from what I understand. And then it's going to work its way down. It's going to go through these islands, and down and down and down. I think I've got it going through... Oh, that's right. I was going to take it through the Northwestern Territories as well. Not Yukon, not yet. And I think it was going to go through parts of Alberta, through Saskatchewan, back through Manitoba, and then it would go south. And we would hit things like Grand Forks and Three River Falls, Fargo, Watertown, and I think Sioux Falls. Yeah, so I think we would do like Sioux Falls, Sioux City, and then it would work its way back and hit these airports, and then come right back down to La Crosse. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, I was going to hit those. I think I was going to hit those, come back up here to Rochester, and hit some of these other airports in Wisconsin, these other cities like Walsall and Green Bay, and then it would come back to La Crosse, and then start continuing from there to what the Commodore 64 and Amiga flights have already done. And I'm slowing down on the videos on those so that way Flight Simulator 3 can catch up, and I've got some other simulators I'm working on, like SubLogic, Flight Light, and ProPilot, etc. So the reason why we can't follow the other simulators, at least for the US, is because Scenery Disk number 10 was never created. Yeah, so all this stuff is not done. So that's why these other simulators, I mean, we're not going to hold them back. They're going to keep going. Then they're going to work their way back around and then back down to La Crosse, and then continuing where all the other, where Flight Simulator 2 and stuff is going. So I say that this is exciting because you're getting a preview of where the other simulators will have to catch up to. So on these, you can't see the flights going into, Wisconsin and stuff, or Canada. However, now we will be going through areas of the United States that it'll be a while before the later simulators will catch up. So, they each have their positives and negatives. So, where are we going? Well, if you have followed the Commodore 64 and Amiga versions, you'll know that we're going from La Crosse. We're tuning into Lone Rock, and we're going there. And then finally, we'll be landing here at Madison, Dane County Regional Trial Field. So that is our flight. I know that was quite a bit of an explanation, but I wanted to give you, a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on, just so you can get kind of an idea of why these, why the old and the new simulators, or later simulators, because Flight Simulator 4 and 5 is not new, but for that matter, FSX isn't new, but why some of them are going one way and the other ones are going the other way. Eventually, they will all catch up with each other in some form or fashion. So I imagine, with the direction that I'm going, that these old simulators will cross the ocean and go into Europe before the newer ones do. Yeah, it's, like I said, we have a lot of flights ahead of us, so a lot to look forward to. Let's go ahead and tune in. We got two nav radios to tune into, two VOR stations, and like I've said before, I like I like to tune in on nav 1, my destination. So that is Madison, and it's 108.6. Too far away to get anything. There is a north-south runway. Instead of clicking that, we can just go to nav com and go to nav radio, which is B. And now we can cook. We can cook with some oil, or whatever you want to call it. So the heading we got to do is use 5 and 6, and we can actually hold the buttons for those. So see that? We can do that. That makes it a lot easier. And then as far as we can tune everything in from here. So nav number 2, we want 112.8. So we'll go ahead, let's see, A112. Well, phooey, what in the world's going on there? Oh, because, yeah, I see what I'm doing. Okay, so 112.8, and we want to center that. So let's see, heading under nav2 OBS2 is E and F. So let's see. Yeah, we want from. That is correct. And that's not the way we want to go. Oh, that's right. It's not going to work because it's paused on the outside. So we're going to have to do this. All right, so we're just going to have to click it on this one. Okay. 124. That's not what I want, is it? Yeah, we want to go to it. That's right. That's right. We still have clouds, but we don't have wind. So I sort of have half real weather. With the old simulators, I'm sometimes, like I have mentioned before, I try to mix in a little bit of reality and then a little bit of imagination. So right now we're just kind of imagining that the winds are going to die down, the skies are going to clear up. So that's my plan. Let's turn to nav2N for the DME. 60 miles. And we will go ahead and turn on the plane. So with that, I think we can take off from any runway. I think we'll go ahead and take off from the one that's in front of us there. Funny, I do these videos in batches, so I'll be recording like a lot of Flight Simulator 2 videos and then a lot of Flight Simulator 3 videos, and it's like by the time I get back to the modern ones, I'm just kind of like, oh wow, that looks so nice. Oh. Ooh. Well, that was different. Somehow I hit a key and it turned on the magnetos. That was weird. I wanted the brakes. I hit the comma, and the comma was not the right one. But that turned on the magnetos. That was interesting. We discovered something. We made a discovery. Making discoveries is fun. I love the color of that dark gray. That's just nice. It's a very moody color. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take off. Taking off there. Yay! Behind us. And we can even get a spot plane view here. We've got to set it up first. So it's sitting there. I'm going to use the numerical keypad and just kind of move it around here. There we go. And we just do this. There we go. See that? You can do some fun, if you want to make some videos on your own, you can do some fun external shots. Go ahead and whoops. We'll go ahead and whoops. I want to turn and get locked into that 124 radial. Pretty close. Oh. Okay, we're gonna need to bring down our throttle here. So I believe that road there is going to head to Oshkosh. So if we wanted to do some VFR flying, we could follow that road there. Oshkosh. Well, I think we're set. So this is going to be another long flight, just like the last one. So, like, you know, some flights are long and some are going to be short. I would land at Lone Rock, but there's no airport. Maybe in real life there is there. We should find out. It's not on this scenery disc, I can tell you that. Let's see what we can see. Oh, let's see. La Crosse. Lafarge. Anything like LaForge, like Geordie LaForge? Lone Rock. Where are you, Lone Rock? Lone Rock? Lone Rock, where are you? There you are. Lone Rock, here it is. Do we have any airports in Lone Rock? I don't see any. Splash Park. It's got a splash park. Oh, it's by the Wisconsin River. Nope, I don't see. Oh, here it is. Tri-County Regional Airport. Yep, there you go. Oh, wow, there's a small one here. Look at that runway. 18 and 36. Pretty small. The Piccadilly Lily Airport Diner. That just sounds like a fun place to go to, doesn't it? Take a look at some pictures of the Piccadilly Lily Diner. Well, you know, it's kind of like any other food. There we go. I like that white and yellow. That's kind of cool. Looks good. See, we get to have a little bit of fun on these videos. Well, you know, there's not much to see as far as scenery is concerned. Ah, we can still see the airport. That is La Crosse, folks, and we are saying goodbye to the Mississippi River and hello to clouds. Okay, so maybe it's time to use my autopilot. Let's go to 5 and let's set the autopilot to 4,000. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Just waiting for the altimeter to get down to 4,000. Or close to it. I think that's close. I'm going to turn the autopilot on. I think we can leave it alone, let it do its thing. Okay, this gives me a chance to share some stuff that I got in the mail. I've been doing that on a lot of these flights. Maybe not this one specifically, but on the other World Tour flights of flight simulator stuff that I've been adding to my collection. And this is the latest. I think it's funny how it shows the disc on the cover, but it's the wrong size. But anyway, it is the Great Britain. You see that right there? Great Britain. This is the Great Britain collection by SubLogic. It's a 3.5 disc. This is for IBM Tandy compatibles. This can be used with Microsoft Flight Simulator 4. I do not think this will work on 3, but that's okay. We got Western Europe for that one. And you know, I mean, Western Europe is going to have England in it anyway, and I don't want to do the same exact thing between, you know, the simulators. I want to have a little bit of difference. But yeah, this can be used on Microsoft Flight Simulator 4 and also SubLogic ATP. Videos will be coming on that. And also, it is supposed to be able to work on SubLogic Flight Light, which I do have some videos coming out. Or they're already out, so they're just coming out on a regular basis. So, let's go ahead and open this up here. And we'll see what we got. Got brown paper. That's what we got. Now, I already have an image of this, but I wanted to get the maps that maps are important. Okay, so what does it come with? It comes with a rubber band and 3 discs of the Great Britain Scenery Collection. So 1, 2, 3. Do these discs work? I have no idea. That's why I have images. I'll just put that right there. And then we've got a nice little measurement thing. Okay, this is kind of nice. That's a standard one for SubLogic, so you can use that on any of those maps. A registration card. Oh, we got some more stuff here. Computer Flight News Briefs, number 30. And also the EEC edition. So this is like SubLogic's newsletter. Yeah, I don't know how you would get all of them. Like this is number 30. So it's got current news, new product update, talking about Great Britain, California Scenery Collection nearing completion. I think that's out too. California Scenery Collection is nearing the final stages. This 3-disc set of all new scenery. Okay, that's good to know. That means I'll need to add that to my collection. For use with Microsoft Flight Simulator and SubLogic Flight Assignment Series will provide complete coverage of California and Nevada. Much more than just a collection of topographic features. California Scenic Collection incorporates actual visual details and highlights from our recent 4,500-mile exploratory flight up and down the West Coast. Entirely new scenery and display techniques are used to recreate the look and feel of flying over this area of immense geographical diversity. Cool. Marketing update. Increasing scenery collection sales. Our recently instituted policy of bundling 3 separate scenery discs and especially low-priced scenery collection packages is becoming popular with our customers. Well, of course it is. Scenery collections offer more value to the user. 3 scenery discs for the price of 2 and provide better profit margins for the software dealer. Well, yeah. Talks about demos, talks about the AdLib sound driver now available for Flight Simulator or Flight Assignment ATP. Customer service, installing new facilities locator, and the SubLogic product availability guide on the back. Now, I've mentioned before in regards to Scenery Disc 10 and 8 not being available. If you were to look at the back of this, it'll have Scenery Collection Set. Okay, let's skip those, not those. Where's the Western one? Huh. I don't see the Western US on here. Well, I mean, they did it, obviously. But I don't see it on here. That's interesting. Well, they've got the Hawaiian Odyssey, Western European Tour, Japan Scenery Disc, and then Scenery Disc number 7, 9, 11, and 12. Notice how 8 and 10 aren't in there? Yeah, so kind of a bum thing. Alright, so now we've got the actual maps. Oh, and these are kind of like poster maps. So here, are they both? Yeah, they're both sides too. This is why I wanted to get the collection, so I had access to the map, so I knew which airports were in there. So, kind of move out here a little bit so you can kind of see it. I see Casement, Dublin, Shannon. I thought that said Coconut Jack. This is from Scenery Disc number 3. GB3 Scenery Highlights. Nessie, Glasgow, Edinburgh Castle, St. Giles Cathedral, Firth of Forth Suspension Bridge, Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh, Ramberg Castle, and oil rigs in the North Sea. So it's got its north and east coordinates on those. And then it's got a list of the airports and which ones have ILSs on them. So that's useful. Okay, so you know what's covered on that one. Oh, we have a Great Britain Scenery collection, operating handbook, and loading instructions. Oh, and this has approach charts. Has approach charts in them. That's kind of useful too. Okay, let's see, that was disc 3. Disc number 2. So disc 3 is Scotland. Disc number 2 is Northern England and Wales. Okay, so let's take a look at the scenery highlights on this one. That's a lot of airports. Conwy Castle, Liverpool Buildings and Liverpool Cathedral, Manchester Buildings, The Minster and York, Silverstone Raceway near Luton, or Luton, not sure, Humber Bridge, and oil rigs in the North Sea. Alright, and then we've got disc number 1, which is Southern England and Wales. And this has got a lot of scenery highlights. Pembroke Castle, Severn Bridge, Bristol, Glastonbury Abbey and Tor, Westbury Whitehorse, Stonehenge, Salisbury Cathedral, Uffington Whitehorse, Winchester Cathedral, sailboats in the Solent, No Man's Land Fort, Southsea Castle, Fort Rauner, Portchester Castle, HMS Victory in Portsmouth, Portsmouth Forts, you got Fort Nelson, Southwick, Widley, and Purbrook, Gliders near Lesham, Whipsnade Lion, Cliveden, Windsor Castle, Arundel Castle, Hampton Court Palace, Kew Gardens, and then in London, you've got the Buckingham Palace, Battersea Power Station, Post Office Tower, Westminster Abbey, Trafalgar Square, I think that's how it's pronounced, Parliament Building, St. Paul's Cathedral, National Westminster Bank Building, Tower of London and Tower Bridge, Canary Wharf Tower, Greenwich Royal Naval College, Thames River Flood Barrier, Longman of Wilmington, Canterbury Cathedral, Richborough Castle, and the White Cliffs of Dover and Dover Castle. Woo! Boy, this has got some scenery to it. Now the question is when I go to arrange the World Tour flights, will I be able to do it and not miss anything? That's going to be interesting, because it's not like they mark it on the map, I don't think. Oh, they got the ILSs drawn on the map, too. That's cool. These are nice maps, too. They're not bad. So there we go. That is the Great Britain Scenery Collection. Wrap this back up here. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to do some stuff with. Oh, I might do some Flight Simulator 4 Great Britain tour or something with that. Oh my goodness, the first time I've done my autopilot and it's actually centered this time. It's not way up or way down. Well, that's cool, finally. I'm going to turn here. I'm going to turn and... Let's see, do we have any other scenery? Yeah, we're in the no man's land at the moment. Unfortunately, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2 is not going to be able to fly in this area because the scenery disk image that I have, since there's copy protection on it, they had to bypass certain tracks in order to make an image, and as a result, parts of the scenery is missing, and this area just happens to be one of them. Now, the scenery disks for Flight Simulator 2 can also be used on Flight Simulator 3, but you use a converter that comes with Flight Simulator 3 to convert the scenery file to an SCN file. And, well, that was done, you know, at the time, and images were made, and, you know, so we got the full scenery here. But to try to get it on Flight Simulator 2, that's the thing. I wish there was a way to convert the scenery file back to Flight Simulator 2. Maybe someone can reverse engineer the thing. I don't know. All right, so I got something else in the mail, and I don't have a manual on this, but that's okay because I have the first version. And this is Fly 2. It is the second version of Fly. I have Fly 2K, which I will be doing a series on. Here it is. Fly 2K Special Edition. I think I'm going to put my Fly 2 in there also. Put it all together. Now, I've got this sitting out because I'll be doing a series on that shortly. I'm working on my Flight Simulator 3 videos at the moment. Alright, let's go ahead and tune in to Nav 1 here. Woo! We got 53 miles to go still. So we're heading there. Oh, you know what? This is the right radio we want to go on, 124. So that works out pretty well. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna switch our mileage back over to Nav 2. It doesn't seem so bad when you as soon as you finish the 18 here. You know, we can switch back to Nav 2 and then it'll be less. It won't seem like we have that much further to go. And we should start seeing a river or some lakes or something over here to the right. The Wisconsin River, if you've watched the if you watched the last episode where we were doing a VFR flight along the Mississippi River, it had forked off and went east, and that was the Wisconsin River. Well, the Wisconsin River actually goes near Lone Rock, so we should see that river here shortly. how many more videos I have left to do until I get caught up with the Flight Simulator 2 videos. Oh, come on, Aaron! My husky is acting up. Let's see. We'll be going to Whitman, Sheboygan, General Mitchell, and I think Milwaukee after that. Yep. So 1, 2, 3 more flights after this one, and that will catch us up. What are you getting into, Shadow? Hey, 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 don't be chewing on that. Stop chewing on that. Oh my goodness. Stop. Wow, it's not food. Now the only thing we've got is just looking at that line over on the side, as far as scenery is concerned. Nine miles to go. We should be able to see the Wisconsin River. Not sure why we're not seeing it. Well, do we get into our Flight Simulator 3 manual here? Let's see, moving and sizing windows. Selecting setup windows from the views menu activates a menu used to set the size and positions of windows. There's our Wisconsin River right there. So let's see, moving windows with the mouse, point at the very top of the window press and hold down the left mouse button and drag the window to its new position. Okay, while moving it, that makes sense. Moving windows with keys, you got to go into the Setup Windows menu. Setup? That doesn't make sense. Select the, well, oh yeah, it's going to be underneath here. Setup Windows right there. Someone is in front of me. You're standing on something. Here, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Come here. Say hi. Meow. Hi. Little boy wants attention. Are you going to be my engine sound? Is that it? You can give me a better sound effects than what we got going here. Huh? But you will not look at that camera, will you? Maybe. Maybe. Are you looking at the camera? You kind of are. He likes being kissed on his forehead. Huh? You just like the attention too much. We were going to read in the manual, and then you jumped up here on the table. That little boy. Yeah. Alright, come on. There you go. Oh, you're going to play now, huh? Let's see. So yeah, you can move the windows with the keys if you go in there. Changing window size with the keys. Oh, so that's how you change the size with the mouse. You point at the lower right corner of the window. Hold down the left mouse button while dragging the corner into the window. Oh, maybe we can do that with the map. Shadow. I'm trying to do stuff. I'm trying to do stuff. Yeah, trying to do stuff. Oh. Sit right there. Oh, are you playing now, huh? Alright, let's try that with the map here. The numlock key, hit it twice, that should... Okay, now we know we can drag it by clicking up here. Now the bottom right corner, oh yeah! Well, that's a lot easier than what we had before. So, there you go. You can see where we're at. And that is the Wisconsin River. And the airport is right in this area here. So this is going to be Madison. There we go. Or no, actually, I think that's where Whitman Field would go. But in case you wanted to change the windows, he's on the chair. You go to set up windows here, and then you can turn windows on or off. You can turn the control panel off. So that and this is where you can select things to move or size, and then you use the keyboard to do that. I'm watching him. Are you going to behave? No, he's not. Whenever I have to pause it and come back, it tends to throw the autopilot off. Okay. Turning windows on or off. Turn the 5 windows on and off by selecting the appropriate setup windows. Menu option. The 2 3D windows and the map window can also be turned on and off by selecting first 3D, second 3D, and map on the views window, or by pressing the following keys. Left bracket, the double pipe, or is that... No, I think it's left bracket and then left... Oh yeah, left bracket is window 1 on. 2 left brackets is window 1 off. Right bracket is window 2 on. And 2 right brackets is window 2 off. And then numlock key, map window on. Numlock key, basically twice is map window off. The double key presses above require 2 rapid key presses of the appropriate key. And note the simulation frame rate is highest when a minimum number of windows are turned on. I think you'll be fine with a modern day computer, unless you're playing this on an old computer. Changing window overlap priority. The 2 3D windows and the map window can overlap one another. To change the overlap order, select the window you want on top, then press the apostrophe key to give the window top priority. Full screen tower view. When in tower mode, selecting this option on the views menu makes the view in the main 3D window, first 3D, grow to fill the whole display screen. This lets you see a large area with good resolution in, making it easier to identify planes from the tower. Track and spot modes also use this view. Oh, okay. I didn't think they could. Shading can be turned off and off to present the scenery and aircraft model using wireframe construction. This improves display rate as well as giving the aircraft a CAD, computer-aided design look. Axis indicator. The axis indicator can be turned on or off by selecting the views menu option. There are 4 indicators. We looked at this at one of the previous flights. It has like a V and a small V, and there's like 4 dots you can barely see. One more. Spot plane control. Spot plane distance and direction are adjusted by choosing Set Spot Plane from the Views menu. Set the spot direction, the position where you want to spot or aircraft in relation to your plane, by either dragging the view box, the small box near the aircraft on the menu, to the desired position, or pressing the keypad direction keys to move it. The view box shows the position of the spot plane. So in case you're wondering on that, go here to Views, go to Set Spot Plane, and there's a little box here. Yeah, which you can apparently, well, you can't really drag it closer. Well, there is something here, distance. So you can change that. Spot distance and altitude are adjusted by clicking or selecting menu options 1 and 2. This determines how far from you the spotter aircraft will fly. Type the distance and altitude in the left column. Right column shows your original settings. Spot altitude is the difference in altitude between the spotter pilot and yourself. Positive values place the spotter at a higher altitude than your plane. Negative puts it below you. The spotter can never go below ground level. Dramatic landing views can be generated by placing the spotter slightly below and to the side of you. The spotter plane positions itself in the direction and at the distance you set in the Set Spot Plane menu. When you do aerobatics, the spotter plane's position can change. When you bank the plane steeply and roll upside down, the wing that was pointing east suddenly points west. The spotter plane must switch to your other side if it is to match what you have set in the Set Spot Plane menu. If the spotter plane is jumping from side to side, you will have a hard time watching yourself do aerobatics. A similar situation occurs when you do a loop. Pitch upward and go all the way over. Options 3 and 4 in the Set Spot Plane menu help solve these problems. Preference, roll or loop, and transition, whether it's slow or fast. You can set them for the kinds of visual special effects you want. Select preference first, then loop or roll. If you select roll, the spotter plane flies relative to your heading, not to your wingtip. When you roll, your heading remains the same and the spotter plane will track you from one side, letting you watch the complete roll. Loops will still cause a problem though, because as you go over the top, your heading abruptly changes by 180 degrees. To watch yourself do loops, select loop. The spotter plane will track relative to your wingtip direction, which doesn't change during a loop. With both roll and loop, there are times when the spotter plane must change sides. Rather than changing sides abruptly, the spotter plane gradually moves to the other side, keeping you in view all the while. Think of the spotter plane as a fellow pilot filming you with a movie camera. He must fly to the other side. This crisscross creates dramatic visual effects. You can set the crossover time by setting transition in the Set Spot Plane menu to slow or fast. And there we go. Oh, we still got plenty to read. Oh, and let's see. We are 19.8 miles away. We're off at an angle, that's why this says off, but as you can see, we're still getting distance from it. So the airport, Dane County, is going to be right over here. This is where Madison is at. And now we can see Madison. The gray there. Madison has fuel, and their altitude is 863. So we'll go ahead and keep that in mind. And the Madison VOR looks to be centered on the airport. There's the Wisconsin River. Now, in the other simulators, we'd actually come from the north side of Madison. That's why I didn't see the lakes, because the lakes are over here, actually. But we're doing something different this time. We're actually going to come in from the south instead of the north. Okay, our VOR is working. Got a blinking tower over here. No airport yet. Oh boy. When I first started flying those red needles, I had thought they were like VOR towers. And there's the airport. Right over there. Should be turning here soon. I think. go ahead and adjust our heading here. Well, this is definitely giving us a different perspective than what we had before. So there is Madison. Okay, and the runway we want is this one over here. That's the one that we're going to land on. It could land on this Crosse runway. That might be better, because then we can kind of line up with this this roadway. I don't know. Nah, we'll just land on the opposite one. So you can see the design here of of the city. I'm going to pull up the map once again, the satellite map. Twist it around here. Okay, so you can see that right there, right? You got your major roadway, you got another one coming up here, and you got the city. So if I go ahead and pull this up here, and you can see, here's the two lakes. The airport is right over here. Looks like one of the, looks like Route 18, Route 14. Here's the interstate, Interstate 90, and then 94, so those are depicted there. And I can't get the map to go off now. That's when you go to the menu options, select map display, and then come out with it that way. Sometimes the keys work pretty well, and then sometimes they don't. We're at 10 miles. This is when I start my descent. It's around 10 or 12 miles. Go ahead and put the landing gear down. We'll get our first notch of flaps. And we'll start a slight turn here. See the runway there. I can just slightly make it out. We're going to adjust our heading here to around, I don't know, 90 degrees. This one's got a little bit more scenery than some of the other areas. We got like, what, 3 lakes? Yeah, 3 lakes. Do another slight turn here. We're just gonna slowly kind of curve our way in. Only 9 miles. I don't think we'll drop another thing of flaps at about 8 miles. Yep, it's starting to move. Our 4 needle OBI needle is moving. Okay. See things from spot plane. Here, let's set the. Remember, we can drag this. Remember that. Right, like that. So we got a little bit of a view there. We can come back here and move it just right over here. Ooh, it's start time. Now we gotta turn on the lights. So the time changed just a little bit compared to Flight Simulator 2. It was still daytime. So we'll change that. Well, we'll go back to daytime on the next flight. It does turn into evening, but not quite that quickly. Gonna need to slow down a little bit more. One more thing of flaps. I don't think we get any taxiways with this one. So we're in the winter season right now. I think we're in the winter season. Let's check Enviro. Let's find out. Yeah, we're in the winter season. So that's why it got dark very quickly. Adjusting the power just a smidgen, and using the rudder here to kind of do a little bit of sliding over. Just to power a little bit more. Go ahead and power down here. Okay, throttle down, bring our flaps up. And we are landed. Got another runway right there. Seems like a good spot to just kind of park. Alright, looks good. We'll go ahead and let's lean it this time. Okay, I can't lean it that way. Alright, we'll shut it off. Alright, so we're here at Madison at the Dane County Regional Trial Field. And no, this was a pretty long video, but we went over a lot of different types of stuff. So hope you found the video useful and entertaining, and if so, please leave a thumbs up and a like. I'd appreciate that. And subscribing to help grow our channel would be wonderful, and that notification bell is for you, so that way you know when the next video is out. Other than that, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next leg of our journey.